Crazy cousin Nestor, middle name is Chester. All right, we sound good. Nestor, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, this one's titled Why Everyone is Quitting Social Media by Matt Diavella from downtown. Let's blow this Big Daddy up here. Big Daddy, should be fun.
So I think we can learn a lot about the problems with social media today by looking at how Instagram promotes its own app. If you go to the login page, it says, sign up to see photos and videos from your friends. What a load of shit. Anyone that uses Instagram knows this just isn't true and is far from the content machine it's become. But it does give us a clue into the challenges this company and every social media platform is facing today, and why the distance is growing between what people want and what they're getting. Jack Conte, the co-founder and CEO of Patreon, has spent years thinking about the economics of the internet and has seen from the front lines just how drastically social media has changed since it was first introduced. Jack, thank you so much for being here. Question number one.
From one Jack to another. Something I want to say, though. A lot of you guys reach out to me on Instagram, and a big common theme that I hear is, I don't ever use Instagram, or I just made this account to message you. A lot of you that watch this channel, you don't watch short form, or you don't even have an Instagram. You don't even have a TikTok. And I totally get that, because I also, too, would not use them if it wasn't for making content. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and I understand why. Like, Instagram has become, we post Instagram and TikTok, but I literally pay a guy to post there for me. I don't want to have to go there. It's already enough when me and Nestor sit here on a daily basis and have to scroll through TikToks to find ones. It's a bit much. It just is. And I understand why people don't have it. I strictly do this to make money. And that's just me being honest. And also another thing, too, for my regular viewers, you might have noticed me and Nestor, we've been posting a lot lately. And the reason why we're doing this is because this is a big reason why a lot of people have quit social media. It's turned into just content. But that's the name of the game. So it's gotten to a point where people no longer give a shit. Most of you are here strictly to know why people are quitting social media. You're not here for me. This has all changed, right? And I don't care. That's all good. I'm here for the same reason you are. I want to know why people are quitting. But for me, why I don't consume it like a normal person would, it's because, one, I don't care, and two, I don't see any of my friends. I don't see anybody I actually follow anymore. YouTube's pretty good at it, but 9 times out of 10, I got to go in and type somebody's name in to find them on YouTube. Instagram, forget it. Fucking get it. I just want to throw that out there, though. It really has changed drastically, and I am one of those guys who I would not be even using social media if I didn't have a career or a job doing it. Just throwing that out there. Just saying. You deleted your Instagram, yeah, Nestor?
Oh, yeah. It's so weird.
There you go.
But my life is so much better without it, I gotta admit.
Yeah, like, I never scroll on Instagram. Like, ever.
What the happened to Instagram?
Oh, man. I love that question. Okay. Here's what happened. Web 2 sort of emerged in like 2005. Web 2 companies were like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. The amazing thing about Web 2 was you could like subscribe to a creator. You could follow them, and then you would see the rest of their work as it came to you in the future. This was a new thing. Before Web 2, the internet was mostly read-only. Like, you log in via AOL or something, and you like can just like read the news. But the amazing thing about Web 2 was, for the first time, like, people could upload, they could share, they could like broadcast their ideas. And the most profound piece of internet architecture came out of that time. Was this thing called the follow.
As Jack explained it, the follow gave you the power. You decided who you liked, who you wanted to hear from, and who you wanted to fill your feed. It felt like your corner of the internet, a personalized space built around real connections and genuine interests.
I only subscribe to people and watch videos that make me happy, inspire me, make me feel positive, uplift me.
But that version of social media didn't last. The idealistic vision was great for users, but not for investors. Once these platforms went public, they faced a new challenge. How do you turn connection into profit? We all know what happened next. Social platforms started to run ads, and ads made them a lot of money. So they
Oh my God, talk about ads. Dude, don't get me started with the ads. So every video we put up here on YouTube, Nestor does this. His back, people go, what do Nestor do around here? Nestor's job is to do all the back end stuff. The amount of ads, if it was up to YouTube, that they would put in our videos is disgusting. 20-minute video, just we have to manually go in and delete half of them. And I'm not even sure if they're actually doing that. You guys let me know if the ads are out of control.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will be like, well, why would you delete the ads? That's money. Because I don't fucking like ads either. And it's not all about the money. I mean, yeah, I want to make money, but it's not all about the money. But here's something I want to point out to you guys. Now, I know this is going to make sense. This guy's got almost 4 million subscribers, right? Look at how highly edited his production is compared to me and Nestor here. Just two jamokes.
I got to be honest. If I edited a video like this for you, it would take 5 days.
Yes, thank you.
7 days, maybe.
But here's where I'm getting at, okay? 4 million subscribers, and if you look at the views on this video, which I'm really interested in the subject, right? But I don't follow him like that. I know him from highly edited, cinematic videos. I'm not sitting here like, Matt Diavella's just, like, that's my kind of guy, and I could just sit there and listen to him talk. You get what I'm saying? So, look at the views in relativity to his subscribers. So, this is all changed. And that's why, unfortunately, I used to do skits. I mean, we'll have a wide shot like this for you to make it look cinematic or, like, make it look cool. But the amount of effort that you would put in, like when I used to do stand-up comedy, people don't care anymore. They don't care. I mean, think about movies. People are like, they only make shit movies. No one's buying them. No one's going to watch them. Why would people waste their time and put all this time into something when no one gives a shit? Not to mention, this is just something I'm a nerd about, and maybe you don't care. But this is why a lot of people do these reaction videos or just sit there in their car and talk. Does this make any sense?
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to point that out and pay attention to how highly edited this is. Because a lot of content, a lot of videos, especially on YouTube, if it's not highly edited like this, they're not going to get 1 million views. Most of it. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. But I'm just saying that's the level it takes. This guy got 4 million subscribers. You would think he could sit down and just talk to the camera and get 100,000 views. But no one cares. No one fucking cares. I just want to point that out. And that's why you see this mass influx of so much videos just being shit out. And I'm a part of the problem, but I also understand why. I've made skits. I've done these things. I put time into writing a screenplay. Just because you haven't seen it. Because no one cares. So why would I care?
I would care if you released the movie.
One guy would care.
Me.
That's not my point. Anyways, back to this guy.
They scaled the model. Grow larger, show more ads. Get more users, show more ads. Hold users' attention for longer, show more ads. Get more data on who your customer is, their hopes, fears, and dreams. Sell more expensive ads.
The customer of Facebook is the advertiser. What the advertiser wants from consumers is attention. And what Facebook has built is a machine that converts attention into revenue. That is the Facebook machine. Everything about the financial system is set up to hold Facebook accountable for revenue growth. What that does is it aims the entire financial system, hundreds of years of financial infrastructure, it aims that entire system of accountability and discipline at sucking attention away from humanity. That's the problem. That is the problem.
You say these things like they are my fault, and yet they are not.
Well, you did create a platform with a monetary incentive for people to spread misinformation.
Bo Burnham recently summed it
I love how South Park is still going. Incredible.
up well. Tech companies aren't satisfied with just a piece of your time. They want it all.
They are now trying to colonize every minute of your life. That is what these people are trying to do. Every single free moment you have is a moment you could be looking at your phone and they could be gathering information to target ads at you. That's what's happening.
When the biggest tech companies...
Damn, that one hit deep. That one hit deep. And also, another reason, I just want to explain this guy to you guys because you might have noticed this with a lot of... If you consume a lot of YouTube or, God forbid, short form. But on short form content, there are people posting 5 to 10 times a day. And on YouTube, people are posting every day. Every day. Sometimes twice a day, 3 times a day. And there is a reason for that. That's how drastic it has gotten. So I know that, like, yeah, maybe my views are lower. But me and Nestor look at it like, well, we got to give them 3 options versus 1. That's how far gone it's gotten. I just want to throw that out there. And I am on TikTok. When I go scrolling this stuff, it's like, man, there's a lot of, it's a lot of stuff. It's a bit overwhelming. This is just something that fascinates me, and I'm in this business, and this is what we deal with. So I deal with it for you guys who don't consume short form content, but it is on another level. Like, if you think YouTube's got a lot of content, oh man, dude, TikTok. These people are posting. One guy will post 10 times a day. One fucking dude. That's just one guy.
I got a fun fact for you.
Lay it on us.
I saw this on Puberty. You follow Puberty?
No, I know who they are, but yeah.
Apparently watching short form content harms the brain 5 times worse than alcohol. What's your thoughts on that? Constant dopamine overload.
That kind of makes sense because I have this theory. Of the more information we consume, the less we remember. Does that make any sense?
Yeah,
I'm talking to you guys too. And alcohol, if you drink enough of it and you survive your liver not failing on you, you'll lose your memory. That's how that works. It's like wet brain.
Sure.
So, there is something to be said about that, about what we're doing here. And I don't think it's all that serious, but that's why I do these more longer, in-depth talks, and turn a 2-minute video into a 20-minute video. Because I'm also more of a long-form content guy. I don't think it's that serious. But I would say I think the more information we're taking in, I do really believe the less we remember. I truly do believe that. That's one thing I'll stand behind. But that's a crazy stat. And that puberty thing he was just talking about, that fucking thing, they post like 50 fucking things a day.
Dude, I didn't even realize.
They post this.
They're a part of this problem.
This social media platform 50 times a day.
Yeah, they're insane.
Soak that in for a moment.
Bro, 5 times worse than alcohol. What's 5 times worse than alcohol?
Heroin.
All right.
in the world are competing for your attention. They'll design features that exploit every human vulnerability they can find. Even the smallest change can have a really big impact, like infinite scroll. No, not a never-ending pastry, something much more nefarious. Before this feature existed, websites had pages, natural breaks that let you decide whether to keep going or to stop. In 2006, interface designer Asa Raskin came up with an idea to replace those breaks with a never-ending feed. What seemed like a small improvement quickly became one of the most influential changes in how we use the internet today. Without a stopping point and an endless stream of content, this simple feature can quietly steal hundreds of hours from your life every year. Asa himself says he regrets creating it.
I was blind to how it was going to get picked up and used not for people, but against people. And this was actually a huge lesson for me, that me sitting here optimizing an interface for one individual is sort of like, that was morally good. But being blind to how it was going to be used globally was sort of globally amoral at best, or maybe even a little immoral.
In a world where apps rise and fall overnight, the social media giants have learned to move fast or risk becoming the next MySpace. When a feature works on one platform, it doesn't stay there for long. It's copied, repackaged, and rolled out everywhere. We've seen this happen with pretty much every...
That's where I was getting at earlier. Not to get like full-blown nerd with you guys. But it's happening to YouTube too. It's happening literally everywhere. I mean, I used to go on websites. TheBarracks.com for skateboarding. Thrasher.com. KinesisFilms.net. Full-blown websites here to consume stuff. That's where I went. I actually heard something recently where most websites have literally zero traffic. It's all going strictly to YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Netflix. I heard something recently. This was the best one. I love this one. A guy goes, I miss cable TV. He goes, you remember that feeling when you're going through the TV guide and in 30 minutes from now, Wedding Crashers is going to be playing? And you'd go, oh shit, I got 30 minutes. You'd be getting ready, you know. Maybe you got somebody at the crib, your brother, something like that. I didn't have a brother, but I could imagine, right? Go get some snacks. And cable TV, obviously, this has been a conversation. The TV's going to kill the mind, right? This has always been a conversation. But there was something so simple about it. You know, the fact that so many people can't just, and we talk about this a lot, watching this video, you go and check another video or an Instagram or an article.
Bro, look at my hands right now.
Yeah, it's in your hand. Throw that out there. My point is yeah, I get why people don't use Instagram and TikTok. I understand. But the truth is a lot of people do use it. They do use it. And it might seem as if I'm on it all the time, but I'm not. I haven't gone on TikTok or Instagram today. I have a bunch of videos saved. I'll do one mass watch of a bunch of stuff, save a bunch of shit, and go, that's what we're doing for a few days. And once we clear through that stuff, I'll go back on it because there's only so much I can handle. There's only so much I can handle. And a lot of you guys don't even use it. And I agree. I know why you don't use it. It is entertaining, though. I don't want to say it's all bad. There's some entertaining shit on there. Let's not bullshit each other here.
A fast-growing app, from Snapchat to Be Real, and, of course,
TikTok.
TikTok explodes in popularity.
It's surging in popularity here in the U.S.
15-year-old Charlie D'Amelio's new favorite pastime is making up dance moves for the social media app TikTok.
This group of 20 talented content creators is part of a growing trend of young...
It went from Michael Jackson, you know what I mean? It went, like, society has digressed. Like, things are no longer... I don't want to say things aren't getting better, but things that used to be... Tell me if this makes sense. Things that used to be, like, riveting, like, you really had to be truly great. I mean, you gotta see this guy. Or this girl.
Oh, yeah.
It's not, that's no longer.
I would say top-down quality, it don't matter anymore.
And like, we're a part of this too. Like, I put a little effort into the background and how it looks, But that's the furthest I go. I want to make sure we're having a good conversation. We're thinking outside the box. Maybe we laugh a little. I don't know. And if I create a little moment for you to take home with you, I've done my job. But the truth is it's you no longer have to be that great. That's what's kind of crazy to me. Not to mention there's just so much of it right here. This is like, remember when this was big right here, the TikTok, the influencer mansions and shit? Just the most untalented people. But they have great editing, great camera skills, and a shit ton of 12-year-olds.
And a hot girl in the mix.
And a hot girl. That's all you need now. That's all you need. But now everybody's an influencer, so it's going to make it harder. It's going to come full circle. I promise you that. It's going to come full circle. I know this.
Social media stars snapping up
Look at
big
this
real
fucking
estate
guy.
so they can physically be together to make videos 24/7.
No, dude, come on. Nestor, just look at him. No offense. I'm not. Another thing about how they were talking about the anxiety and I get enough gnarly comments on YouTube. We see the good ones. We see you guys. We do. Nestor's always in there. We see. We know you. We know who's who. But there's a lot of gnarly comments. Like how I just said, look at this fucking guy. That happens to me all day long. I would never go to this gentleman right here. I would never go to this guy's fucking page and comment anything negative about him whatsoever.
No.
I would never do that.
No.
That's not how I roll. But the amount of people, especially on Instagram and TikTok, dude, the comment section, the gnarliest stuff I've ever... No one's ever talked to me in person like that in my entire life. They'll come in there and be like, just attack your appearance. Attack everything about you. You don't even know these people. Some of the gnarliest shit I've ever heard. But think about this. This happens to people who aren't even trying to make a living off of this.
Dude.
This happens on the amount of disgusting comments. It's kind of crazy. And I have a theory about it. My theory is that these people have nowhere else to put this out there. You know, I'm not on social media for your validation. This is for you. What I'm doing right now is for you. And we're having a conversation. It's not for me to sit back later and watch and go, wow, look at me go. This is for you. But where was I going with this?
The nasty comments. You know what I notice about social media comments? A lot of them, they get down and dirty, but they attack physical stuff.
That's where I was getting at.
But like, it's nobody would ever say that in real life in any situation.
Never,
bro. People love or hate your hair.
Oh, dude, they will attack every wrinkle on my face, the gray hair.
But they don't know that you're 35 and you're blessed to have that hairline, brother. Blessed.
Okay, but here's the thing. I've been dealing with this, but never in person. Maybe a handful of times somebody has said something like that to me. Maybe. I don't care if they're thinking it. They didn't say it to me. But what I'm saying is a lot of people come here thinking they're going to get some kind of validation, but really it kind of does the opposite. And I do believe that a lot of these nasty comments, you know, I have enough love off of camera and in actual walking around in society, people in my life, my friends, my family. I have that validation, you know? So when you see something like this is where I'm getting at. I hope this is making sense. But this is just a next level of stuff here. I never understood. I'm not in this for fame. Does that make sense? Like, fame is never going to do it for anyone. I truly believe that. I don't think, and I honestly think fame it doesn't even matter anymore. You know how many people have 1 million followers and you don't even know their name? Fame is like, it's not even real anymore. I mean, this guy apparently is famous. Never fucking heard of him. And I'm sure I would remember if I saw him before. Anyways.
We're definitely like the two most hated. Definitely.
The most cringiest.
Like they're literally call her Blueberry because her hair is blue.
Yeah.
And then I'm orange. So like, oh my God, the orange and the blueberry.
What has happened over the last 5 years is really profound.
That was like the roughest thing I've ever seen in my life.
TikTok came onto the scene, and TikTok's major innovation, I think people think, oh, TikTok is vertical first short form video. But that's not TikTok's major innovation. I think that's a red herring. What TikTok did that was truly different and innovative was TikTok said, oh, you know these concepts of...
Also, one thing I do want to say, if I ever do talk shit, I put my face behind it, you know? But I would never walk up to that gentleman in person and say anything negative, nothing like that to him. I would never.
It couldn't come out.
I have no reason to. Does that make sense? Like, I know I might have poked some fun just now, but that was just because it was a bit bizarre. And they even said it. They know it. They were referring to themselves as blueberries and oranges, and they're cringy. They said that about themselves. I don't need to say it, right? That was my first reaction, okay? But I'm just saying the internet, man, that the fucking, especially TikTok and Instagram, oh, dude, the level of, like, verbal assault. Oh,
on your hair, though.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's fucking criminal.
It's gross.
I could go on about this forever. The amount of people that think I'm a cokehead or a drug addict because I'm hyper. In case you didn't know, this is for you. So if I were to do what I do a lot and just sit there for hours and not talk, you probably wouldn't be watching this and I wouldn't have a job.
Yep.
I don't walk around town just full speed ahead 24/7. This is a show here.
Dude, that's actually crazy. If you got too much energy, people think you're on drugs. If you act too chill, people think you're on weed.
You're not off the hook. You know how many people have literally texted my fucking phone and go, dude, I thought Nestor was just like on edibles or something. Like, immediately associate it with drugs.
I'm just a chill guy.
And you know what's crazy? Never even done coke, never done a hard pill, a hard drug, ever. And people go, liar. I'm like, just because you have to do coke or drink alcohol in order to have a good conversation and a little spontaneity to you doesn't mean everyone else does. Certainly not me.
So real.
Yeah. And I've got health issues, so I sniff all the time.
Bro,
fuck off. How about that?
Your dad was addicted to oxys?
Yeah, but he didn't need drugs to be cool. Drugs made him stupid.
Dude, I noticed a few comments on on TikTok. Some people think you're on oxys too, by the way.
They'll throw any...
They don't know that your dad was addicted and that you would never... You don't follow the footsteps of people that made mistakes around you. They would never know that.
Okay, I've dealt with this. But here's the thing. You're not people... And that's the other false perception of social media, right? People show the good things, right? Or people are putting on a show or they're doing this thing. You're not getting a full hangout with this person, right? Like when you see these people, you're not getting a full, you're getting 20 minutes, you're getting 30 minutes, you're getting 1 minute with them. You know, if you were to hang out with me for a day, half the day, we wouldn't even speak. It would just be quiet. Half of the day, we would be quiet.
Yeah, sometimes we spend hours working where we're not talking to each other.
Yeah, we wouldn't even be having a conversation. And if you met me at first, you might think I'm mute. Because when I'm in a group of people, I let you guys talk first. I'm going to be the last guy to say something. I got to size you up first before I open my mouth. That's for sure. I got to know if you could handle it, Big Daddy. Anyways, just throwing it out there, man. It's just, the point is the social media, it's gnarly. And luckily I'm getting paid, so talk all the shit you want.
feeds that people are using, where you have your followers and you scroll through a feed and you see people you follow. TikTok said, forget about following. We're going to rebuild your feed from scratch based on who we think you're going to like. Not who you've chosen to follow, but what the platform thinks you will spend time on. And we're gonna optimize it for time spent.
While TikTok didn't invent the algorithmic feed, they did crack the code on virality. For years, your feed was shaped by who you chose to follow. TikTok removed that control entirely, replacing it with a feed that didn't care about your social graph. Instead, every scroll was another data point, teaching the algorithm exactly what you would keep watching.
The most successful video I have right now is like at 68 million views right now.
I'm sorry, 68 million views?
Yeah.
68 million views that most people don't even fucking know this person. It does not matter. That's how far gone it's gotten. If I was in this trying to chase 1 million views a video, I've got news for everyone watching. No one gives a fuck. The only thing that matters for me, and I've had to explain this to Nestor, I'm explaining it to you. Little moments. My regular viewers, Maria. Buckle up. Take a hit.
I'll take a hit of that real quick.
There you go. Pass it over there.
Yes, sir.
My point is little things like that. It doesn't matter if you get 1 million views or 10,000 views. It's little moments like that that matter the most. So that's kind of where I'm getting at, though, is like the way it's set up. The way it's set up for this viral... And this is a big reason why I don't put all this effort into it. And this is why you see this. I'm trying to explain this to you because I'm behind the scenes on this stuff. We just got monetized on TikTok, on Instagram, and it's deadly. I've only been dealing with YouTube this whole time. I'm starting to get in a peek into this short form stuff, and it's weird.
It's a weird world,
dude.
bro.
It's weird, man. That's how far gone it's gotten. This chick, 68 million views just on one video. Nobody knows who she is. That's how far we've gotten with social media. It's kind of bizarre, dude. It really is.
It is trippy.
It's just me like turning into like a monster.
Now, if it had just been TikTok that did that,
that's it.
We all would have just left TikTok.
That's the riveting content. Right here.
TikTok.
That quick. Hold on.
And every scroll was another data point.
Turning into like a monster.
There it is. Jesus Christ. This is it. This is the riveting. This is the riveting content.
Sorry, what's going on here? Is she like taking off, like?
But what I'm saying is this is somebody could make a movie and spend 2 years of their lives with cinematic vision, and no one would ever see it. Meanwhile, this right here, this is why people don't even care to try anymore. Right here.
It's a video of her taking like some type of movie theater-ish makeup off. That gets a 68 million
That
views.
gets a 68
But the movie
million
that she was
views.
in.
And I'm not jealous. Do your thing. I don't care. It's not about that. I'm just saying, this is a big reason. Half of this, what you're seeing right now, if you're not on Instagram and TikTok, this is more than half of the bullshit that goes on there. There you go.
Yep.
That's why most people don't even use it. I don't want to look up how many daily users Instagram has and how many daily users TikTok has.
Now, if it had just been TikTok that did that, we all would have just left TikTok and that would have been the end of the story. But the thing is, it worked. And by it worked, I mean TikTok built a very addictive consumer experience that people couldn't tear themselves out of. And so traffic sort of siphoned off of Instagram and Facebook and all the other social apps and onto TikTok. And all the other social apps saw this, and felt pressure to get traffic back. And the way that they did that...
Something I do want to clarify. I use a lot of TikTok content to make long-form YouTube videos. But it's the more conversational pieces, because this is more like radio. This is like radio meets video, what we're doing here. So I don't want to say it's all bad. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. And for all of you guys that say you don't watch TikTok, technically you kind of do. But only when somebody like me and Nestor here, or other people, plenty of other YouTubers, take that one clip or 5 clips and turn it into an entire piece. So I do think there is some value to be had from it. I don't want to say it's all bad. There are grown-ups having actual conversations on there. But a lot of it's dangerous. Do we have those stats?
Yeah, so TikTok has 1.12 billion.
Jesus. Daily users?
50 million daily active, but 1.12 billion monthly users. And
Jesus.
Instagram has over 2 billion monthly users.
So Instagram's still bigger.
Yeah, I don't know if that's accounting for Facebook as well, but...
Oh, yeah, because they're tied?
Yeah, but, I mean...
Yeah, so it sounds like most people are not quitting, or they've drastically limited the amount they use it. Because I know I don't ever go on Instagram. It might look like I'm posting there, but I don't go on there. That's the craziest part. I'll check messages once in a while from you guys, but like, there's plenty of you watching right now where it's like, I messaged you 17 months ago. It's like, my bad, man, you know? Like, I'm sorry. I haven't looked.
Was by also ditching the follow in their systems and by building For You feeds.
TikTok might say that its For You feed...
Yeah, like this guy got, this right here, Nestor. This guy got famous. He didn't get famous. Nobody even remembers. No one's watching him, right? But he got virality on the news for skateboarding and holding a jug of cranberry juice. Remember, we went from Michael Jackson. Okay, Michael Jackson's probably not the... We went from Michael Jordan. We went from Elvis. Okay? Fucking Elvis here. To this.
I used to watch this guy all the time, and his name is on the tip of my tongue, but I seriously can't remember.
What do you mean you used to watch this guy all the time?
Do you remember his username or his @
No.
He was so famous. So famous for...
But he blew up because of a jug of cranberry juice skateboarding.
But that's crazy that I watched this guy. I know who he is, but I can't remember his name.
Thank you. Thank you. And I do believe that it will get to a point where, like, when I consume YouTube, when I go to YouTube, I generally type in when I want to consume for myself and I'm not looking for content to react to. I type in the person's name that I like. You guys tell me if you do the same thing. That's how I do it. Otherwise, they probably won't pop in my feed.
The internet. Suddenly, anyone could reach millions, regardless of their follower count. And simultaneously, viewers could discover creators they'd never heard of. On the surface, it looks like a win-win. But in reality, this change had far worse consequences. In Johan Hari's best-selling book, Stolen Focus, he documents exactly what went wrong when these platforms rolled out these kinds of feeds.
The algorithm is neutral about the question of whether it wants you to be calm or angry. That's not its concern. It only cares about one thing. Will you keep scrolling? Unfortunately, there's a quirk of human behavior. On average, we will stare at something negative and outrageous for a lot longer than we will stare at something positive and calm.
Go like this. No, Mom, I'm actually seriously crying. No, I know, but go like this for the video.
Social media has turned into a model that serves the platforms more than the creators or the audience. And as a result, people are starting to turn against it, and they don't have any plans to come back. So for me, when it comes to incorporating technology into my life, it's not about getting off the grid and living in it.
All right, it's going into an advertisement. We're going to fast forward. But something that I noticed too, if you ever like, even yourself, but it's a little bit easier to notice when you're watching somebody else. You ever catch someone, promise me you'll do this. If you ever catch somebody and you can see their screen and you can see what they're doing, Watch their scrolling habit. Watch how they scroll.
Oh, bro.
Watch how they surf.
Casino.
Just-
Slots.
Dude. It's fucking nuts. And we're all at fault. It's almost like not even our faults. My favorite is there's a trend that I didn't cover it because I felt like I was too late. But there's a trend going on where all these social media platforms are going to require ID, like your identification. And people are like, I'm going back to DVDs. I'm going back to CDs. And as somebody who has DVDs and CDs and cassette tapes and VHS, and I still use them, I have bad news for you. They stopped making them. So everything you're going to consume will be older. Mm-hmm. All of it. They don't put it out anymore. YouTubers don't put out DVDs. TikTokers don't put out DVDs. My favorite artist, one of my favorite rappers, the only CD I could buy from him is a bootleg that someone else made and burned onto a disc. You see where I'm going? Okay, I'm glad we're all following along. So it's not really our faults, but this is a big conversation of people going back to physical media. I'm willing to bet your car, anybody with a newer car, doesn't even have a CD player in it. Yeah. Think about that for a second. Most new cars do not have CD players. They definitely don't have cassette players. I guarantee that.
I got made fun of in college by my rich roommates because I didn't have a push to start key.
Oh, yeah, I still got to turn to the right keys.
But I remember making me so angry.
Oh, because you didn't have a push to start?
Yeah, and they were talking like, yeah, I got a push to start. What about you, Nestor? You drive a Kia, right? I drive the same Kia, but I don't know where I'm going with here. Let's move on.
No, where we were going was people are talking about going back to physical media to get away from the constant, never-ending, limitless choices that you can't even make your mind up on, is where we're getting at.
True.
And I do listen to CDs in my car, with my turnkey car. It forces you to take it slower. And I actually enjoy that. It gives me a break. My point is all these people coming out talking about going to old media. The downside to that is we're not putting out that media. And maybe we should. You guys let me know. Do you want me to put out a DVD set with all of my greatest hits on there?
Dude, that would be so 90s.
Who would buy it? Is my point, though. You know how many times I get told I don't even own a DVD player?
If we make it into a cool CD with a cool cover, people would have it as a decoration, but they wouldn't insert it in anything.
My point is, though, that's where society's at. Even if you wanted to abandon the streaming services, TikTok, all this stuff, you can only go back, literally, to the old. There's nobody new putting this stuff out because no one buys it. No one cares. Why would you buy it? Anyways, to this guy getting his head cut off.
And objectively worse. Even as we see an explosion of creativity with independent creators producing thoughtful, hilarious, and inspiring work, these voices are often getting drowned out by professional grifters, fast-moving trends, high-production clickbait, and AI-generated content, most of which are surfacing above the people that we chose to follow in the first place. What was once pitched as a town square now feels more like reality TV on crack. Meta itself admitted during the FTC trial recently that just 7% of time spent on Instagram in 2025 is spent viewing content from friends.
I think social media has become less social. Like, it's more about just consuming this kind of highly commodified content, and it's more about lifestyle aspiration, things that you are moving toward in your own life, not just like what's going on.
All right, I think we've heard enough. Something I do want to throw out there, something I kind of I'm gonna stand by, is I make these videos for you guys. And I get approached all the time of people saying, your thumbnails aren't good enough. Let me make them for you. Your editing sucks. Let me edit for you. Don't you want 1 million views? And the truth is I'm making these videos for you, the ones that get it and that are here for a slower, talk show radio-esque, unedited deal where you're more here for what I have to say and what we have to talk about versus the clips at hand that we are watching right now. So I'm okay with getting less viewership if it's more of me finding people that think on my wavelength. Nestor, is this making sense?
Yeah, I agree.
Because there is so much, when he said the copy and paste thing, you can find 1 million or at least 100,000 other guys reacting to content and commentating on content just like this. And you know what most of them sound like? They all sound exactly the same. It's a copy and paste format. Tell me I'm fucking out of my mind, because I'm not. I'm not.
It's a duplicate of everything.
I'm not. That's why people think I'm on drugs. Most people are bland. That's the truth. I'm not saying you're bland. I'm not saying that. I could go click on 100 YouTube channels right now, and most of them will be utterly the same.
Hey guys, today on the channel.
Thank you. But this is what I can bring is something a little bit different. I don't care if it doesn't get as much viewership. Okay? That's something I can do. And also sell DVDs out of the trunk of my car.
I gotta be honest, what you do is way more selfless and a lot harder than doing a TikTok dance.
Well,
I can say that safely.
And I don't care about being famous. I don't care about being liked or loved. I don't care about that. I'm here for the money. You understand? It's hard because YouTube is TV now. And a lot of people you watch, you don't even know it. They don't edit their own videos. They pay somebody to do it. They don't make their cover photos. They pay somebody to do it. And a lot of them are signed to an agency. 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers. They're signed. And they have people editing all their stuff. Most of it is scripted. They're scripting a YouTube video. YouTube, which I don't mind. I like scripted stuff. I like movies. I like that stuff. I'm just letting you know, though, that sometimes it's not what it seems, is my point. It's kind of bizarre, honestly. But fortunately, that stuff, yeah, they put more work in. They should get the views. But I don't know where I'm going with this.
I agree, dude. We dropped that episode recently about what's going on with TV lately.
Yeah.
And I was actually surprised to see that a lot of people have completely abandoned TV streaming, and their sole way of watching videos or anything is just straight YouTube. That's it.
But something I want to throw out there to you guys, a lot of the YouTube videos you watch these people aren't just spitting off the top of their heads making this riveting content. I'm just throwing that out there. Maybe you guys know this. Maybe you do. But a lot of times people don't know that this is a scripted thing and this is edited. This guy didn't just talk freely and flowing willy-nilly. All right? My content reflects that. I don't even edit out when I stumble across words when I'm reading. And it pisses a lot of people off. And I apologize if I go too fast sometimes or don't edit it out. Okay? But I'm a cokehead, and that's how cokeheads read.
And I gotta be surprised when I hopped on board.
I'm joking.
When I hopped on board, I was surprised that you don't even have like a mini script where it's just talking points. No. It is free flow, freestyle.
We have a beginning, middle, and end. The beginning of this video is why are people quitting social media? The middle was talking about it. The peak, the pinnacle. And the end here is we're going to go get people's thoughts and we're going to reach a conclusion right now that don't know what it's going to be. That's one thing I do have, is a beginning, middle, and end. Social media went downhill when we stopped emphasizing on the social part of it. Yeah, and I feel bad about not... Nestor was telling me, like, we have a community here, but why don't we do anything with them? And I said, I had a big community last year, and a lot of them loved me until they said, fuck you, Jack. So it's a hard thing to balance. And I think that's where movies got it right and TV shows got it right. People couldn't just comment and leave their thoughts. You couldn't just reach out to Howard Stern with your comment. You'd have to call him, or you'd have to write him a letter. And he wasn't responding to you. And it's not that I don't care about you guys. I do. I respond to some of you. I get in your comments, the DMs, and the emails. Those of you who I've talked to, you know who you are. I do talk to you guys. But I used to do live streams and let random strangers call in. And, once I reached the point where people who, quote unquote, really liked me, said, fuck you, I'm not watching you ever again. That's when I kind of said, do we really have a community here? Does that make sense? Not that we don't have a community. I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying that's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. Yeah, if your own friends and family can turn on you, strangers on the internet certainly can.
I agree. It's like how these corporate companies, they preach, we're a family here, we're a family, guys. But your coworker will snitch on you the first second they get a promotion.
Dude, your own friends and family will not all of them. I'm saying okay, it happens. So a stranger, behind the computer screen can certainly either be your biggest supporter or also say fuck you. It goes both ways. I'm not saying it's not great. I love what we have here. I'm just talking to you from the back end of what's going on here, and somebody who does this for a living and pays attention and kind of knows the ins and outs. Okay. For me, it's because I'm sick of everything being tailored to me. A major part of socializing is being challenged and experiencing other points of views. On social media, it's just constant feed. You might like this. When all I want is to see other people I like. I don't want a computer telling me what I like because it's almost always incorrect. Okay? Well, that's what I was talking about earlier in the video about the views. Just because something has a million views and another video has 100,000 views, which one is actually better? Does that make sense? Is the million views better than the video that had 100,000? Because we've had plenty of videos here where we have so many of you guys where it's so much. It's the same engagement with a video we do that gets 50,000 views as some other guy who gets 300,000 views. So which one is actually better? It's not a competition. I'm just saying sometimes we can be dictated by the numbers, is what I'm saying. So we could think something's good because it says, oh, this got 500,000 views. It must be that great. Where I've seen videos with 30,000 views where I'm like, I watched that video 5 times. That's how good that guy's message was. I'm sure everybody's done that. All of you have watched the same movie 17 times, listened to the same song 700 times, and have probably watched the same YouTube video at least 5 times. There's YouTube videos I'll go back every once a year and go revisit it because of how good it was. Not even the editing. It's more of that moment, whatever they delivered. That's something I think that will never be lost. I don't think that'll ever be lost. I quit social media a year and a half ago. I regret nothing. I think what happens to a lot of people is they get off social media, but then their surroundings are dead. Everyone is on devices. No one is really outside. No one wants to interact or visit one another's house. That's something I notice when I'm walking the dog. And I'll do it too. I'll have headphones in. Not always, or the phone. But everybody who's walking around my neighborhood, phone in their hand or headphones in. So that is kind of right. If you're the only one walking around with no phone, you're kind of the odd man out. There is a difference between what we value and what we attend to. This is going in my... Okay. Skipping. I quit social media altogether about 10 years ago. For a long time, YouTube felt like a safe place, right until they introduced shorts. Now I'm contemplating quitting YouTube too, which would really suck since there are great people like you on this site with amazing content, but because there's no way to turn off shorts, I end up wasting too much time on them.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'll leave the link down here to Matt down below. He's a cool guy. I consume YouTube mostly. I still watch movies. I watch TV. I like to escape. I do. It's a way outside of social media and streaming. I like to pop in a DVD. I like to pop in a skateboard video. Something that's not even, like how people like sports. I like that escape. But I'm on YouTube all the time. I never click on shorts. I think YouTube is one of the last ones that's still there, but it is starting slowly to join forces with the short form, where people you do follow and you want to listen to all the time, they might not pop in your feed like they used to. You're probably getting a lot of people you've never seen before, which is cool. That's how you discover new people. I'm not saying it's bad, but yeah, it's a tricky conversation. I think there's good to it. I think the one principle that'll never change is when something is good enough, it's going to be good enough. That goes for movies too. There used to be like 150 movies made a year or some shit like that. And out of those 150, 5 of them would be life hits. Forrest Gumps and the fucking Wedding Crashers and the Matrix movie and you name it, right? That Matrix became popular, Mission Impossible, and Wedding Crashers. Well, guess what? There was 150 movies put out that year, and 3 of them we remember. So I think it's always kind of been here. It's just at an extreme now. Anyways, hell of a talk. Nestor, you good?
Yeah, this was a deep one.
Yeah, this is a long-ass fucking video. We're going to hang up here. If you made it this far, well, I don't think you have a problem with short-form content. Unreal.